Hi everyone, welcome to H&R Reptiles. My name is Ashton Riley and welcome to today's video. Today's video we are going to be talking about stuck shed. And right now, my buddy Rango in here has a lot of stuck shed on his back. Now, what is stuck shed? Stuck shed is just like it sounds. It's whenever your reptile can't get some of its shed off and it becomes stuck shed. There are different ways you can get stuck shed off depending on how the stuck shed is. If the stuck shed is just dry and they should have gotten it off, they just haven't, you can just go in there and just get it off for them. If it's like actually stuck against their skin, there's two different options you can do. People do soaking their reptiles where they'll soak them in like warm water and it'll help with the thing. I don't do that because I'm terrified that they're going to get too warm or too cold and die, because reptiles are cold-blooded creatures. They can't maintain their body heat. So if you have them in water and if that water gets too cold, there's a good possibility your reptile will die. What I use, because it works best so far I've seen, is tropical mist. Humidifying spray. It helps prevent stuck on shed and it helps prevent like dry skin and stuff for them. It really works, especially for Rango, because Rango, he's our only one that we really have stuck shed issues with. And it's just because his tank is so big and it's a Reptibri, so this is all mesh. So it's kind of harder to keep the humidity levels right in there. So what we do is with the tropical mist, I shake it before I use it. It doesn't say that on it, I don't think, but I just do it to make sure everything's all mixed up nice and good. Now, Rango is back here. Now, he does try to attack me whenever I spray him, but it's for his own good. See? It's for his own good. If he had to deal with the stuck shed, it wouldn't be good. And even though I'm going to potentially get bit, it's what you have to do to maintain reptiles, to keep them so they're okay and healthy. Even if your reptile hates you and it tries to attack you like my buddy Rango over here, you still have to do it because the reptile is what's important. See, I don't care if I get bit or if I get attacked or anything, as long as what I'm doing for the reptile, what I need to do, as long as I get that done, I don't really care if he attacks me. And I know that's not really good because I really should care if he attacks me, but I've tried to hand tame this guy so many times and he just is not having any of it, so I don't really mind whenever he bites me. You can't really get onto a reptile for biting you like a dog, where you're like, no, because it just makes them more scared and you'll get bit again. But with the tropical mist spray that I had just sprayed on him, it's oiling up and loosening up all of the skin on him. There's not actual oil inside of the stuff. It just makes it so it helps him naturally produce all of his good stuff, and it gives water. The main ingredient to this is water. So it's not something that's going to hurt him if he licks off. It's not... there are 4 ingredients. There's water, vitamin, and aloe vera. So there are 3 ingredients in this. And so I know it's safe for him and everything's good. And he's the only one we really have stuck shed issues with. We didn't know how to go about it, so we tried trying to fix the humidity in there. That wasn't working because it's really hard to keep the humidity in there. So my husband was the one who actually was like, we should try to find some spray that worked. We did a little bit of research on the different sprays. There are different sprays you can use, but the Zilla tropical mist spray works the best in my opinion. I have used the other ones. This one just seems to be more natural, and it helps him shed a lot. Now, whenever you have a reptile that has stuck shed, like I'm going to be spraying him again in about 3 hours and seeing how much fell off. If there's not much that fell off, I'm going to have to take him out and actually get some off of him, which I'm really hoping I don't have to do that because he's mean, as you guys know. But like whenever my other reptiles, very rarely whenever they get stuck shed, like I think Sticky, my little crested gecko, the one with no tail, whenever she had stuck shed, I helped her, and it was just very easy because it was just that she couldn't get out of it. She kind of got like tangled up in her stuck shed, if that makes sense. So I had to like help her out of it. And then with the leopard geckos, sometimes the little cap for their heads will like be completely off, but they can't like reach it to eat it. And my leopard geckos are like lazy, so they'll just sit there with it on, so I'll have to go in there and just very gently take it off of them, you know. Rango, like I'm saying, is the only one we really have trouble with. I try to go in there whenever he's asleep because I know that I can get a few minutes of getting some shed off of him before he wakes up, because chameleons are actually very hardy sleepers. At least this guy is. The day after we got him, he was sleeping in his tank, and I went in there to check on him, and I touched him, and he didn't move or open his eyes or anything, and I thought he had died. So I was messing with him, thought he had died, and then when he finally came to, he bit me, and I was like, oh, okay, you're alive. So I know that whenever he falls asleep that I get a few minutes to be able to get the shed off of him that I need. He's turning around right now, so I'm going to be able to spray his other side. Now, it is important whenever you're doing this to spray both sides of your reptile. If you have a reptile as aggressive as Rango, it can be kind of hard. But see, I just got him real quick. You just go in there easy, especially if it's an aggressive reptile. If it's a friendly one, you can just hold them in your hand and do it. I've never had to use a tropical spray on anyone besides him because nobody else has had that really, really tough shed, because Josh sheds really good. The only ones that I have problems with, like I've said, are very rarely. I had it once with Sticky. And then the leopard geckos, usually it's just their feet. So their like little fingers are like bunched up. If you see your reptile like that, it is very important that you take that stuck shed off, because believe it or not, that can lead to your reptile dying, not being able to walk around because they have stuck shed on their feet. It's very bad, especially for a boreal species that climb up, because they don't have access to those little suction cups or those little hairs that they have on their feet to be able to stick a hold of things. So just make sure with any lizard, really, I'll go in there and make sure his little feet are clean. Just make sure that there's no stuck shed around their feet, their eyes, or their little ear holes, or their mouth. As long as that's good, you can generally like keep an eye on them to see if they can get their shed off. Usually they can, but sometimes you do have to step in and intervene. There are a lot of species of lizards that eat their shed. Like my leopard geckos eat their shed. The crescent geckos eat their shed. They actually pull it off of their body. I think he's supposed to eat his shed, but he doesn't. I'll find like little bits of shed everywhere in the tank. It's kind of gross. It looks like the final Harry Potter movie where Lord Voldemort like went poof into skin flakes. That's what it looks like after he's done shedding. Really gross, but my husband loves chameleons, so he's a keeper, so I don't mind that it looks nasty whenever he sheds in there. But like most species of lizards will eat their shed. Snakes do not. Some snakes will actually try to protect their shed by like trying to bite you, which is really cute because they usually only do it whenever they're like little tiny babies because they don't understand what's happening. Josh did that to me the first time he shed, and it was the cutest thing ever. Granted, he was only like this big when I got him. He was adorable, brand new noodle, had just hatched out, you know. And Generally, reptiles are really good with shedding, but sometimes you have to step in and intervene. Like I said, I really do not recommend the soaking the reptiles if you do have stuck shed. The Zilla Tropical Mist, there is other stuff that you can use, but this is the best in my opinion. I hope you guys liked today's quick little video about stuck shed. If you guys did, make sure to give it a comment, a like, and subscribe because we post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Bye.